So hi everyone, it's Gerald, your favorite Polish mad lad. It was a long time that we didn't see together. So in this episode we will do some team selection with some class selection, basically the incoming interface. And as you can see, the interface is updating correctly. When we join, when someone is joining, you can see that everything works. You can see that everything is correctly setted. If you are spawning a player, it updates correctly. You can choose your class, and if you are a player that has joined recently and you join, you have the class count set it to, and voila. Pretty simple. I really like this interface. I think it adds big thing. You can see that a player can recognize each others because you have mainly different views for different classes. And yeah, so I will let you see the rest of the tutorial if you are interested in this part of making things. And yeah, see you. So before starting the tutorial, sorry for the absent of mine, because I was resting myself, and you know this takes time. So sorry for these 2-3 weeks that I was not here. So let's start by making things on our map. So as you know, you have a map, and if you don't like this little very darkish shadow that you have maybe on your game, you can just simply go here to the source environment lighting and give the gradient thingy, and when you have the sky color you can lighten it a bit, and then you have a very much lighter shadow. So let's start by changing the player prefabs. Why we want to do this? Because we love changing things. Yes, we love it. Okay. So let's duplicate the player 1 or 2 times, and here let's create a soldier prefab, or medic prefab, and a heavy prefab, like so. So we can unpack them like so, and in here we can remove the wall and the medikit, and here we can remove the molotov and the smoke ability, and just simply link it. So the skill will be the dash. So madam, yeah, sorry. So dash and the flash thingy. So we have a soldier. Let's now head to the medic. Medic will only have the medikit and the smoke. So let's remove that from here, and let's link it to the correct things, like so. And on our heavy, we of course don't want the dash and the medikit, and we don't want the smoke and the flash on it, and link it to the correct place, like so. So now we have players. Let's move them aside, and let's change their view a little. So for our soldier, let's put something in the back. Make it be like so, something like an Iroquois. Yeah. And very good. Let's create a new material here, and let's take this one. Let's rename this black, like Sirius Black, and here let's remove the freaking texture. Let's put something like a light gray, like so, and replace the color of it on every element. So let's go to the render of of medic. Let's create for the medic a little backpack like so. Sorry, yeah, and let's make it bigger like so, and very good, very good. I like it very much. And for the heavy, let's make something fat like so, and let's change its size, maybe 1, and let's put it maybe something bigger like so, and put a second one here. So very good, very nice heavy. So we have our 3 classes that we have discussed about in the game design episode, and let's create here a simple folder that we'll name classes here, and let's put the soldier, the medic, and the heavy inside. Let's remove them from the scene, and let's put the player inside too, because it is like a base for us and for our game. So now what we want to do, we want to create events, many events. We want to update events, but before we do this, we're gonna head to our script and create a new script. This script will be the player token. Why a player token? Because as a player, we want to know our ID squad, we want to know our team, we want to know many things that we will need to add. Not so many, because we only have the player ID squad. So this is like in the CSGO thing, where on your minimap you have a color. For everyone it is the same, so it's important to have one on a token. Here you're gonna have the class in order to know, if you go on someone, to know his class, if you have skins, so it's simpler to know who is who, and of course the team, because team is needed. And here what we want on our players, so have the name and everything, and of course it's a token, so we can have this put here. And of course we want the write and the read function that will simply write and read simple things like here. Okay, so not complicated at all. I think we can head to the network callback to register our token. So let's add it, and let's name it player token like so. And now we have created our token and registered it correctly. So now we have a token. We need to send this information to the server. So this means we will use the spawn player event in order to simply send information. So let's say 20, let's say this is the player, come on, player name. Here what we want is simply the team that we will compress, and it will go from 0 to 1. Here we want the squad ID as an integer, and it will go from, let me check it for a second, and it will go from 0 to 7 like so. And of course we want the class here that will go as an integer from 0 to 2, simply like this. Okay, so we have our spawn player event updated, but it's not finished. We have to add 3 new events. So first event will be the choose team event. Choose team event that will be only sent by the client. it will be a global event, and it will send an integer for the team. So here, team, and it will be 0 to 1, and it will send a guide because we need an ID for a request, because it will be a request, and I will show you how to do a little request on the server. So next event, this event will confirm that we have correctly been assigned to the correct team. This means that when we are sending to the server the request to join a team, we want the server to respond and give to us an answer. And this answer will be based on simply the player count that the server will calculate, because the server have the correct information. So yeah, like I said here, team 1 to 2, and here what we want is an integer that will help us to calculate simply the squad ID, because the server will calculate it for us, squad ID. And of course we want the guide to be returned, because when we are sending a request, and maybe we send another one because it's possible in our case, we send one request and in a second time another one, we only want to have the response to the latest request that we have sent. So this is why we use guide. And of course we want another event that will help us know simply when we join the server to update our player count on each team. So like I said, 80 TT and integer, and of course you can reduce the bytes that are sent in order to be sent more quickly. So yeah, we have all events that we need. So let's add something here. We need two panels indeed here. So we have a player panel. If we go to our view, isometric view, and if we hide the GUI here, we have only one panel. So let's create another one. Let's put it on top of this one, and let's simply name it team setup team panel. So the setup team panel, this one will have two buttons. So let's name it AT and TT, like so. Let's put this one on the side, maybe at 250, and this one will be at minus this, and let's hide this one because we don't need this one for the moment. And yeah, let's rename this, and let's maybe change its color, so something bluish, and here something yellowish, like so. And now so we have the TT and the AT team here. Let's see what we need more. We need something that will show the count of players on each side of the team. So let's put number here. Let's make it big, like something like this. Let's put it on the center, and let's make it like so. Very good, very good. Like so, and let's build or compile our assembly, like so. So indeed, like we have everything correctly compiled, and we can start by changing the player setup controller script. So let's head to the player setup controller script, and let's start by changing the setup panel here, separate it into variables, and let's say that now we want to show only the team selector at first when we are doing something. And on the other side, when someone join the server, so here we're gonna override the scene load remote done. That will this is an event that on the server will say to the server that client has finished loading a scene, and we will have the connection of this player, and we can send to him some basic information, like here the count of the teams. So in order to have the count of the teams, we need to reference it somewhere, like so. Okay, so let's continue by making the on-event update team count thing, because when we receive this event, we will want to update the interface of our player. So in order to update our interface, we need things that will reference the text fields of our interface, like so. And we want a function that will update automatically the button status of our interface. Mainly the interactability of the buttons. So here we're gonna add a new reference to it, and like so, we will say if the team count is equal, we simply going to say to everyone that it's okay, you can choose whatever team you want. On the other side, if the time count is different, we want to activate only the button for the team that have the less player count, like so. And of course, we want to deactivate the interactability to the player that don't have, the thing. So let's continue. It will be a long one, this one. So let's have a function for our button set team with the integer here, and this one will simply reference on what we will concentrate when we are wanting to join a team. So we want to send a request for the server. So first we have the selected team variable that will help us to set in memory what team we are. So like here it will be the selected team, and of course we want the guide. So a guide is simply made like this. So system.guide.new guide function, and we will send it on the server. And in order to make sure everything works on the server, we're gonna do the on event, and the on event will be written as follow. If we are the server, we gonna assume that we accept the request, and we gonna check simply if the request is rejected in the second time. So if we are the 80 team as a player, we're gonna check if the 80 count is higher than the TT count. If it is the case, we're gonna refuse to give you the join sentence, and same for the 80, same for the TT. So of course now we're gonna send the event. The event will be simply based on if we are accepted or not. So simply here we're gonna send the request based on the accepted thing. We're gonna resend the team that we are, and of course we're gonna say that the event ID is the same as we have received, of course, and the squad ID will be based on the team count, because you know, if we are 0 we are red, and etc and etc. This is the simplest way to do it. And of course here we're gonna update the count of players that we are our own. So here what we're gonna do is pretty simple. We're gonna do this little thing where we're gonna just add the team count based on the team on the server, if it is accepted, of course. Understand? Yeah. Yeah, of course, if you are accepted, of course, if it's accepted, otherwise we don't want this to happen. Yeah, on the server. So here now, when we have updated the player, when we are receiving the event that say to us if we are accepted or not by the system, here we're gonna just do something like this. So we're gonna simply get the event, and if we are accepted, we're gonna simply change to the and the event ID is correct. This means that if we have sent another request, we're gonna wait for the other request to arrive and then set the team and etc. You know. Of course, now we want to go to the next step, which is the class selector. We're gonna set the player squad, because the player squad is of course set by the server, and if of course if we are the client, we're gonna simply say that the team count is modified and the view is modified, like so, of course. And here, if of course the team is not accepted, we're gonna just simply update the team count, button interactability, and here we're gonna simply just say, oh no, this is bad, we have other interactability of the buttons, do it like so now. So let's add the squad ID here to be retained, and of course now we can start by making the class view. So before starting by making the class view, we're gonna I gonna simply link everything to what it needed to be linked on. So let's start by adding the team selector and the class selector, like so. Oh yeah, it can't be compiled, so I will comment the line like so, and here it will show more of our options. Yeah, like so. So here let's put the AT count here and the TT count here, and of course the TT button here and the AT button here. On the buttons, what we're gonna do is pretty simple. We're gonna here remove everything, yeah, like this. Sorry. So here what we're gonna do is pretty simple. We're gonna add a function and another one here. Please let me check if it's doing anything on the interactability when we are setting the team. Yes, of course it does. So here what we're going to do is simply set the player setup to set team 0, and the let me check just the index of AT. AT is second index, so this is pretty confusing to me. No, it's pretty obvious. So here, and set the set team here to 0, like so. And now we are sure that when we are starting the thingy, we gonna have simply selecting everything like it need to be done. So I'm not very clear here, but you're gonna see what it does very soon. So now we have done this. Let's head to the player and let's create new buttons. So as I said here, let's create the soldier button, like so, and let's create the medic button, medic, and let's create the heavy button, like so. Okay, so let's set those to 200, like so, and let's put this one aside and minus 250, and here 250, like so. And now let's take all of this, let's put them down here, and let's add maybe an image, and yeah. So let's add a little, so here we're gonna add some images. So let's create a folder. In here we're gonna just simply add the textures or sprites is better. Sprites folder. Sprites folder will simply handle images for us, like so. And here we're gonna just simply say that it's sprite image, and we apply this. And here we simply gonna put heavy in heavy spot, like so, the medic to the medic, and the soldier to the soldier. We can rename it, name it soldier, this one medic, and of course the last one heavy. Let's change its colors. So here let's make a dark blue. Let's here add green, and at the last one let's add orange, like so. Very well, very well. So those are our buttons. And on top of our buttons we're gonna add some text which will help us know what is what. So C1, C2 for class 1, class 2 and class 3, like so. And let's simply put them on 100. Let's put this one here. Let's put 1 as a number. Okay, very good, very good. Let's continue. Let's change it like so, and let's put this at -200. This one put it at 0, and this at plus 2,150. Okay, very good, very good. It's looking not that bad. Let's maybe put it at this height, and very good. So now we can go to our come back to our script, and let's see what we need more. So as a player now, when we are going to join a team, we want to update the class view, and the class view will be updated like so. So class view will simply help us to know how many players are which classes. So we will simply count how many classes are these players. So we're gonna just simply add 3 more text zones at the top of our script, and one will be for the heavy, one for the medic, and one for the soldier, of course. Sorry. And let's check the index to 0. Yeah, perfect, perfect. So now as a player we're gonna have a function that we already had, but it was spawn player. Let's change it, let's remove this one, and let's change it to raise spawn player event. And it will help us simply to give the name of the player, the team of the player, the class based on the index, and the squad ID. And on the other side, what we want is not so complicated, but you know, it's something. We want simply to have an event function that will read all of this. It will put it in that token, and then it will give us a spawn point based on our team. So yeah, let's here just have the reference to the transform of the teams added to our script here, and here solid year. Oh shit. So yeah, I wrote it badly, but you know, it happens always. And here, as a player, when we are spawning, we simply are spawning on the correct, you know, sorry. So when we have sent the events, we received it, and we gonna read the token team. Then we're gonna assign, of course, the team, where we spawn here. So local scale and everything, and yeah, and that's it. That's it. We gonna simply spawn our player based on everything that we have here. To finish this, we gonna need to here now hide this one, show the interface one more time, and here assign simply the things to the correct places. So team counts are here, and let's add to everyone here the player selection update class view, set raise spawn player here, and as a soldier it will be 0, as a player, as a medic it will be 1, and as you know, it will be. So here you can set this to not interactable, because it will be resetted, of course, in the future, because when we are spawning on the field, on the scene, we gonna update this interactability. And yeah, so everything's done in the interface part. Now let's head to the map, and let's simply add the last little things. So let's change from the isometric view, and let's simply add here two things: a cube that we will put at the 0, 0, 0, and let's say it will go to -5 here, and let's say it go to +1 here. Okay, now we want just simply to stretch it in order to have a zone of spawn. So we can remove the box collider, and we can simply add this zone like so. So 20, and here maybe 6 more. No, 6 is good. Okay. So this is the zone where our player can spawn as a TT player, and let's name it correctly, 80 spawn and TT spawn. And for purposes of equality for now, we're gonna simply make sure that everyone have the same zone, because I don't want to make more of this. So yeah, like so. And now we are sure that everyone will spawn at the correct places. Let's simply hide the mesh render here, and let's begin by adding these final two variables to our game. So now as a player you don't see the spawn, and now we have assigned this. I remember that we need to add the tag to our players here, like so, and let's tag it like a player. And here let's just add at the bottom, let's add a little reference to our panel that will help us to hide it, like so. Game object set active. Very good. So as a client, when now you are connecting, you can see that the interface is updated correctly and you have everything sent like it needed to be sent. And here you can select whatever you want. You can spawn your player, you can shoot as always. You can of course here select another class here, medic, and you can see that we are using it correctly. And of course, for the last one, we want to spawn a TT player, and you can see that already our Solier is here. We can take it, but we can want a heavy. And as a heavy, you have some little problems with the rendering, but don't worry, we will correct it in the future episode. And you can see that everyone looks correctly for everyone. And that's important in this game, because you want to know who is in front of you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a like, maybe share with your friend who want to game and make a game. And yeah, so pretty good episode. Next episode we will see, maybe we will do something with the player rendering. I think it will be cool that we show the correct color on each teammate. And yeah, so see you soon, and remember to code every day. Bye! Vandalhalla? What's that? It's a game in development by Sandstorm game studio, a young indie game studio which want to start their journey with an online fast FPS game. Vandalhalla will be fast-paced and easy to learn how to master a game. In this game, your equipment will be based on 4 weapons or skills, chosen freely. We call them abilities. They compose your loadout. From rocket launchers to grapplings, including toy guns filled with holy water, your choice is vast. Choices you will make will influence drastically your playstyle. In fact, our game balance is based on an ancient game that is 1000 years old, the famous rock, paper, scissors. Basically, when you are fighting, there will be situations in which you will have facilities to kill some loadout, but your opponents plays the same game as you and they could have bonus damage against you as well. Right now you have 40 different abilities in order to create chaos in your game. Among these 90,000 combinations, I'm sure you will find the one you like. You will be also equipped with a gravity gun, which will allow you to move around the entire map without any difficulty. Your choice of loadout will also change the behavior of your gravity gun. So now, if you want to be the horse and the horseman, you can. But if you prefer to be Neo from Matrix, with a jetpack, it's possible. To have fun with all these features, nothing could be simpler than a huge city in which zones will be designated to organize a zone capture game and at the same time a team deathmatch. Go ahead and vandalize this city, after all you're participating to Vandalhalla, the Vandals Paradise! If you want to help us and see the project evolve and get released, follow us on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter.